out of my bed. My back was really aching. My eyes were cherry red. It's just the morning after. I don't remember who was here. I'll eat a slice of that cold pizza and wash it down with warm beer. I got that not so fresh feeling from my head down to my toes. I think I had a good time. Heaven only knows. It's just the morning after. Lord, it's funky up in here. Help me now, yeah. I'll eat a slice of cold pizza and wash it down with warm beer. Yeah, you got it now, hey.
Yeah, you got it now. Hey, welcome to the Morning After with JP and Big Joe. I'm JP right over there. As always, my man, Big Joe. How you doing, Big Joe?
Hey, what's going on?
What's
good, man. How are you
going
today?
on? Oh, so good. You've got a Cliff Burton shirt, and you got that at Cliff Burton Day, right?
You know what? I didn't get it at Cliff Burton Day because this year was online. So technically I was there.
Count
But
it.
yeah, we did the Zoom dealie.
That's right.
And I don't know if this is a Cliff Burton Day t-shirt, but it's a shirt that they teased at Cliff Burton Day. And then I pre-ordered and bought that.
Well, that thing is beautiful. You just told me before we went on it's the 35th anniversary of Cliff's passing?
I won Nick
Wow.
Gomez reminded me of that. His death anniversary isn't something that's on my radar. His birthday definitely is. But I definitely hopped on that Wikipedia page to see when that was, and yep, he wasn't mistaken, because it's not Cliff's birthday, is it? Like, nope, it's not. That's in
Right.
February. I don't even know what month it is now.
I know it's February just because we do the Cliff Burton Day. I'm more into celebrating birthdays than I am death days. I feel a little weird celebrating death. Well, I don't think it's a celebration, but more like a remembrance.
Well, it's good to remember, but it's also, it's celebration of life. I don't know. I mean, depends on how you get together and do it with your loved ones, I guess. It is a hard one, though. I think I agree with you on that.
Yeah, it's like let's forget about that part. Let's remember the birthing part, because we were all there for the birthing.
I wish I was there. I wish I saw Cliff Burton pop out.
Yeah, that's kind of funny, right? Like, we celebrate birthdays, but we have a stronger relationship with most people's death day than their birthday, because how many birthdays have you actually been present for? Besides your own children.
Not a lot.
And I guess I haven't been present for too many death days, but I was aware, like I wasn't even fucking aware of Cliff Burton when I was 0 years old.
Right? Yeah.
What am I talking about?
I mean, what were you aware of at 0 years old?
My mom's pussy, I guess.
And milk.
I'm so sorry. That was a very crude. God.
Sounds like something that'd come out of my mouth.
I know, seriously, that felt like a verbal typo. Saying that right there was very weird. I'm so sorry. Anyway, welcome to the show, everyone. It's Monday morning. It's 11 a.m., just like we do it every week. Thank you to everyone tuning in live. Really appreciate you guys. You guys always jump in the chat and say silly things to us. And I always appreciate you guys that watch on the replays. That's a very big chunk of our viewer count, or you folks that like to watch after the fact, and that's totally okay. It's 11 a.m. on a weekday. I mean, you're probably out doing stuff. You can check us out on the replay. We do appreciate it. So welcome in, everybody. This is the Morning After. We got a special guest today.
We do.
We do have a special. Happy Monday, Wellness of Madness. That's Coach Lore. Happy Monday. We have a special guest today. Omar Barretto's in the house. Omar, of course, from the band Three Towers, who, Big Joe, you saw in concert live last night.
I did.
How nice was it for you? Because I know your Sundays and your Mondays are your weekend, basically. How nice was it to see, my friends are in town for a show on my fucking Saturday.
It was pretty dope. You know, because I was hanging out with some people and just kind of talking about my experiences moving up to this area, how much different it is than the Bay Area, and my experiences of you know, you leave home and you become a little homesick, you know. So
Yeah.
with the pandemic and everything going down, like I had all these plans to go do all these things, go back home, go sleep by the water, go get some pizza, and just it didn't happen, you know. So to now have my friends come up here, wow, like that was huge. And it was awesome. And they killed it. They're awesome.
Yeah,
I had a
I was
great
gonna
time.
ask before he's here in the studio with us. Well, why don't you give us your honest opinion of how the show went?
Well, I could only really talk about how they did,
Hmm.
because I ended up going to work yesterday on my day off on my Saturday. So I got off work, went directly out there,
Hmm.
and man, I was worn out. But it was a lot of fun. It was a nice little club. The sound was great.
Hmm.
Um, you
Where
know,
what club was this? Where was this?
you know, it's a place that I'm not familiar with. The
I see
Colonial.
here. Yeah, I'm looking at it now. The Colonial Cafe in Sacramento. Hmm.
Yeah. And a friend of mine had told me about that. That's kind of the place to go. I mean, it's a nice little place, but you could tell it's a little. They had food and everything. It had a little bar. You needed your Vax card and your ID to get up in there, and it was a nice tiny little room. It was definitely a room that would the body heat would kill you if that room was packed.
Did you say the sound
And
was good?
the sound was pretty good.
Okay. Okay.
You know, good sound guy. You know, like all the drums were mic'd and all that stuff. Um, the bass sounded fat. You know, so I
Hmm.
mean, it was good. And Omar, you know, he killed it. Omar's a fun guitar player to watch. You know, he's
Yes,
all
he
over the
is.
place.
Yeah.
He's speeding up, he's slowing down. I love the way that he phrases things, you know, so he's just a fun dude to watch on stage. And him and Dan's chemistry is pretty awesome. You could tell they've been playing music for a very long time. Which
Yeah,
what,
for
this is
like
band number 3 together with them?
I lost count, but I think they've been playing for like 20 years together. So that's a
Yeah.
long time, right?
No, you
Yeah.
could tell they can play and jam all night in their sleep. And you know, it's they killed it. I had a blast, and again, it was just fun to. I definitely was reminded of how I fell in love with music, and it was being watching a band on stage and the feeling that I got. That feeling of like, wow, this is amazing, and that's actually what brought me to take music seriously. I was already playing music before I experienced this, but I wanted to share that feeling that was given to me so freely. Well, it wasn't freely; it cost me some money to get into the concert, you know.
There's a cover
But
charge, yeah.
there was. But I wanted to not so much necessarily be on stage, but I wanted to share that feeling of love and passion and inspiration. And I couldn't sleep last night. Like I got home late. I was dead tired. I did. Okay, I'm lying. I fell asleep at 10. I got home at 9:30. Fell asleep at 10. Woke up at midnight and stayed up till 4, slapping my bass, playing with my
Wow.
pedals, watching a little bit of anime. Um,
Yeah, I saw that you said that. You said I have been reminded of why I love music. And I was like,
mhm.
that's fucking huge. Because as musicians, I don't know, but me, I go like, my motivation kind of is like it's like a wave. It goes up and down. And
Definitely.
yeah, I need those motivations. And I haven't gone and seen live music in a long time. Like I kind of forgot what that feels like. I saw a mariachi band playing at a restaurant recently, and I was like almost in tears. You know what I mean? I hadn't heard live music, and this band was just, they were so good. Like they were like one of the best mariachi bands I've like ever seen, and they're fucking killing it. And the song is like all the emotion like comes out of like each band member, and I was like, I haven't felt this in so long. It must have felt great.
You know, and there's something different about being in a smaller room versus maybe like a stadium.
Hmm.
Or an example, a couple weeks ago up here in Auburn, there was the fair, And there was 2 stages of bands going on. You got the rock band over here. You got the Tina Turner cover band over there. You got this guy playing the violin. He was actually jamming along to a Primus cover.
On violin?
Yeah, he was actually Primus to the PA. Primus's "Devil Went Down to Georgia," the Charlie Daniels cover, and he was playing the fiddle parts to it. But I was like, dude, this is tight. He's like blasting Primus. But my point, and Bay Area band, you gotta love Primus. My point is I didn't feel the emotions at the fair. Watching music, sitting in, bleachers and stuff like that I felt last night in a tiny little room, to where I was connected with all these people, watching my friends up there. And it wouldn't even matter if they weren't my friends or not. It was just, I love seeing normal people go up there. And, because when you're younger and you see people on TV and in the music videos, you think you have to be some sort of special type of person. And I fell in love with the DIY shows, because you don't have to be. You could be a normal dude and go up there and pour your heart and emotion. And man, these guys practice a lot. They spent a big chunk of their lives preparing for that moment, one moment.
Wow.
And multiple moments. They're on tour, so But there's something special about that small experience.
I got chills from that description. I got chills.
And I'm multiplying, and I'm losing control. So, I like Grease.
The lyrics after that, because the what you're supplying, the energy you're supplying, because
it's electrifying.
Yeah, my wife makes fun of me because I keep fucking that up, and I think the word is supplying. I go like, because the power you're supplying or providing.
Like
that's
a power
what I was
supply.
Yeah, no, I think it is supplying, and I think I keep saying providing or something like that. And my wife, who's a big Grease fan, laughs at that. Yeah. I think it's, I won't get into the whole Grease thing, but I think it's one of the weirdest movies ever. Like, what is that movie? It came from a musical, hence the weirdness and the timing and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But man, if you didn't know that it was from a musical, well, it is a musical, but if you didn't know if it was like a stage production, you watched Grease, you'd be like, what the fuck is this movie?
Yeah, no, it's a little weird. I remember I met this girl at Pizza Pirate. She was from Egypt, and one day she asked me, it's like, hey, tell me what's up with this American slang, teach me some things, and Grease was playing on TV, and I was like, if you want to know about America, watch this movie. She goes, really? I go, no, don't fucking take me serious. I'm totally kidding.
Fucking wop babaloo is in her vocabulary now.
Right? Yeah, no, and she's actually doing pretty well. She's an impressive person.
Well, good. Well, what do you say, what do you say we have a connection with our special guest right now, much like you did last night with the music? Folks, we're going to be talking with Omar Barreto. He's in the band Three Towers, currently on tour with Phantom Hound. It's the Captivity Tour going up and down the West Coast. I don't know about down. I know they went up. I'll ask him. Yeah, they went out. No, just up. I think they just went up, but not down.
They were in Nevada.
Is that down?
That's across, right?
We'll ask Omar about the geography of it all when he gets on here. I do notice that they're not coming to Southern California, and that's okay. This is more of a Northwest kind of thing, and I'm okay with that. So what do you say we bring the man in? It's he's on tour with Three Towers and Phantom Hound from the great Three Towers. It's Omar Barreto. Good morning, Omar. How you doing, man?
Good morning.
Yeah, you've got a Phantom Hound shirt on, which is the band you're touring with. Now, is that part of the classic touring band merch exchange that happens on the first couple of days?
This is day 3. I had to pick up my my gear here. Actually, I can show you the rest of it too. Already, they got this shit too. It's pretty awesome.
Wait, is that a mouse pad?
Well, you could use it as a mouse pad, but it's a turntable cover.
Oh, pardon me.
I like how you got excited though. You're like,
hell yeah.
Yeah, I love mouse
who
pads.
makes mouse pads?
Anyway, Omar, it's great to see you. Did you pay full price for that T-shirt? Because that's against the rules of the merch
There
exchange.
was a little bit of a homie hookup there. But,
okay, Okay,
we can
good.
work out
Good.
those details later.
So as I mentioned, Omar, you're on tour. You're in the middle of it. How's it been going so far? When did you start, and
It's
how's it
been
been
good.
going, and how much long do you have left?
Well, this is day 4, and as you can tell, I'm comfortable back at home, but quick recovery. It's 3 days on the road. We went to Nevada City, which is still California. Then we left the state to Nevada to Sparks, and last night we headed back to Sacramento in California. So you could call it the zigzag captivity tour, Pacific
Was that
Northwest. So
was that a booking error? Would you have wished that maybe the dots had been connected differently, so there wasn't so
no,
much
actually,
zigzagging?
it's just kind of how it worked out. We're gonna rent a van Wednesday morning, or no, Tuesday night when we head up to Medford next. So
Okay.
it just kind of worked out for logistics. And the bass player from Phantom Hound, Steve, he's got a cabin in Tahoe City. So it was about an hour drive for kind of a home ground. So it was kind of nice, much different than our last SoCal tour. We call that the Motel 6 tour, but this one
How
was,
are those Motel Sixes down here?
we're fine. We sleep on the floors all the time, but
Okay.
a couple cockroaches. Hollywood was pretty fun. Yeah.
Ooh, did you stay
The
at a
floor
Motel
was
6
sticky.
did you really stay at a Motel 6 in Hollywood?
We did. Lived it
Wow.
up.
Were you in there just thinking like, imagine all the stories that have come out of this very room that we're
I was thinking, don't bring
bathing
a
in?
black light to the room. Um, but
Don't
we
ever
slept
bring a black light on tour.
Yeah,
You just
we
don't
slept
even
on
want to know
sleeping
that.
bags, but that was our last thing. But this one's been real fun. Great group of guys, and
Yeah.
good to get out again. I got to tell you, it's been a long time coming. But everyone's got
Yeah.
a lot to work out, and Phantom Hound's got a new record too, so I think they're really stoked. Last time they tried to do the tour, the pandemic shut it down, so they kind of couldn't release their record properly.
Did they have dates booked for a tour and all that stuff?
Yeah, no, they did. They were ready to
Oh,
go, and
wow.
shut
What a
down.
shame.
They're totally a shame. But
Yeah,
I see.
the new Phantom Hound record, Mountain Pass, I believe it's called. It's very
Oh yeah, it's a killer.
it's heavy if you're a fan of dirty rock and roll, kind of Fireball Ministry, Alice in Chains kind of stuff. It's very, very cool. I highly recommend Phantom Hound.
Yeah, and they got some new stuff that's like, it's going places. I gotta tell you that it's good.
Speaking of new stuff, are you guys working out any new stuff while on tour, or have you got like a solid
That's a
kind
great question.
Yeah.
We just recorded an album at the Great American Music Hall with Greg Wilkinson from Earhammer. That was kind of
Yeah.
cool for COVID. We got to have a huge room. We're all super distanced and rent out the whole hall. And I've only gone there to see like the Melvins and other big shows. So it was kind of cool
Yeah.
to get giddy and go in those green rooms downstairs. Like, oh my God, this room's awesome.
Yeah, tell me about that. What was the process like recording an album or was it an album or it doesn't matter. Recording music.
It's an album. Yeah.
It's an album. Tell me what it's like recording an album in such a well, it's a legendary venue if you're in the Bay Area, the Great American Music Hall. But I don't think of it as a place to record music per se. What was the process like? How did Greg work that out? You said you were in a green room downstairs. Was there any recording downstairs, or was it all in the big room?
No, it was all in the big room. So the drums are on stage, mic'd up. We actually played individually. Dan and I in the past have done live recordings a lot, but this was pretty cool to track everything out and do that process. So while drums were playing, I did a scratch track that he could play to.
Mm-hmm.
And then, you throw a football to the other end of the room. That's where the bass player was, and I'm on this. So we're all super distant with our towers, our 3 towers. And
Yeah. Well, that must have been nice because I'm used to recording in a fucking bedroom, like inches away from a guy.
Sound was really cool, I think.
Yeah.
And just being inspired by like this cool architecture.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was a fun experience. So we do have a lot of stuff to do to get it released. We still have to finish some art and master it.
Mm-hmm.
So 2022, we should have hopefully a new album out and ready to share hopefully by summer.
Yeah. Well, you guys stay busy. You guys really stay busy. I think this COVID thing has caused the biggest break in your guys' music, because dating back all the way to Agata, you guys crank out music, like so many releases, so many EPs, like must have felt weird getting a flat tire, sort of like the way COVID did for you guys, because you guys are normally so busy.
True, it was, but the silver lining for me is I had a baby, so it's kind of like, well, my focus was a little bit changed a little bit.
Yeah. Congratulations. How is the little one?
She's good, man. She's 18 months. Love her to death. It's crazy to see her become a little human, little person. She's got
Yeah.
a spunky personality. She's tough. I got to tell you,
Yeah.
she's tough. It's like
You feel yourself
you
changing
don't
in
get
any
that from
way
me.
as a dad?
Yeah, I'd say so. I reined it in a little bit. I don't party
Yeah.
as hard anymore.
That's good. That's good.
So,
Yeah, we all need a good reason to stop partying because it's killing us. Okay?
yeah.
This music
Well,
lifestyle is
so
crazy.
lots of fun. Can't wait to get her out to some shows. Get her like little baby headphones.
Yeah.
Over years.
Well, 18 months. What's the official what's the safe age for a child to wear headphones to a show?
I've seen over the years all ages. So I think it
Yeah.
just depends on the parents and the protection you use. I think anything over 85 decibels, which is definitely 3 towers.
Yeah.
I think OSHA says after 85 decibels for 15 minutes, you can get some hearing damage. So children are a
Yeah.
lot more sensitive and don't have
Yeah.
the tinnitus that we have.
Yeah, for sure. That's funny. I bet you never thought you'd be getting parenting tips from an OSHA guide. Right?
Yeah, well, comes with the trade, working with a lot of loud equipment. So.
Yeah, that's right. A lot of decibels happening. So last night you guys stopped in Sacramento. Big Joe was able to see you guys. There
I'll
we
show you
go.
the tour poster. So
Hold
I
on,
don't know if it's backwards.
I got you here. I got you. Let me help. Let me
Zoom in
help.
on that baby.
There we go.
Oh, there you go.
All right.
Ooh.
Yeah. So,
So-
look at that. You
Tonight's
guys were in
the break for
Sacramento.
everybody. Yeah, so we went to Nevada City, played with Mercy Killed. It's pretty slow grind, kind of like Pantera style,
Okay.
and Phantom Hound, that show. And then the Elbow Room, that was awesome. We played with Flesh to Dust, and I got to tell you, I did not know they had such a heavy like metal scene there. They blew my mind. I was like, holy shit.
Sparks, Nevada.
Yeah, yeah.
Never heard of it. How
That club's been there since the 30s, so it's been called the Elbow Room forever.
is that near like Reno or something? I don't think I've heard of Sparks before.
It might as well all just be one city, but
Yeah.
it's,
Okay.
yeah, Sparks, Reno, same thing. You
Okay,
can see
okay.
Reno, in the distance.
And you're at the Elbow Room, which is apparently a popular name for venue because later
I know, we're
on
playing it
down here
twice.
you're playing another
No
Elbow
clue.
Room.
Yeah, so after that Elbow Room show, we headed to SAC, kind of on our way
Yeah.
back down to the Bay to get,
Mhm.
as we get our van.
Yeah.
Astro Cult, I mean, those guys are super heavy. It's like wizardry. A lot of pretty long songs, but like they take you on a journey. I got to tell you.
Okay.
And
Okay.
the bass player, he even brews he makes his own tea. So,
What did you call them?
Like tea?
Astro Cult?
Astral Cult.
Oh, Astral Cult. Pardon me.
Yeah, we took a picture on stage and we're waiting for somebody to email it to me. But
Oh yeah.
I'll show you
Yeah.
guys that soon.
Yeah. Yeah.
Really
hard
good guys.
to
We actually played
updating
with
your-
Astral Cult on our SoCal tour when we did the Shanghai tour with a band from Shanghai, Alpaca. So we did like
Oh,
a
yeah.
3-day stint with Astral Cult. So it was really cool to reunite with them and like, what's up, buddies? And talking about
Yeah.
what Joe said earlier, how it reminds you, why you got into playing music. I mean, first of all, just seeing like Brian, the bass player, smile and say it's a shredded. I mean, that's awesome. But then seeing all these homies come out from other bands like Sky Pig, Frack, Astral, I mean, Big Joe. Seeing all these like friends, bands that I love their music and come up to support. It's like it's a great community to see that kind of coming back again, and with all the protocols in place there.
Yeah.
was good.
Let's talk about that actually. You guys are going, I mean, you're on tour, you're going to a different venue every night. Not to make this whole interview about COVID protocol,
Yeah, that's fine.
but what's it like out there? Is it
Those are questions on our mind too. Like, what is it going to
yeah.
be like? I gotta
because
say,
you sorry to interrupt, but you sort of announced this tour. It looked like when things were looking up a little better, and then things are starting to lock down again a little bit. But this tour is still scheduled. So, what's that been like?
ironically, we called it captivity because we had a little bit of we thought it might actually get canceled, but so we remained captive. But
Yeah.
a lot of these places do have, you have to show like a vax card when you get there, negative results. You got to wear your mask if you're not drinking or eating.
Yeah.
Nevada doesn't really have any rules, so there was
Mhm.
none of that going on. So
Okay.
you just take your own precautions.
Hmm.
I gotta say, Nevada is kind of like a city of temptation. There's a lot of
Absolutely.
things out there. You're like, holy shit.
How do you feel
But
about that personally? Like about the, do you feel safe out there?
I do. I take it upon myself to kind of protect myself um, as needed, and you know, I think a lot of these people aren't going to gigs knowing that they're sick or anything like that. So
Right.
if they do,
Right.
they're assholes. But
Yeah. Yeah.
um, I guess that's a risk that we're taking on this tour. And we,
Yeah.
we did bring some like those instant tests for the road. If someone's starting to feel shitty, then we could say, well, do we need to cancel this and head home or keep
Okay.
going?
Okay.
So
Cool. Cool.
internally, that's kind of what our checks and balances are.
That's good. So there's not too much anxiety in the van, so to speak.
So far, not so much.
Okay.
I think the general sense is if we made it out of Nevada, then we're going to make it the rest of the way.
Oh.
I like that.
Yeah. That's good. So last
But
night
it was,
at
it was
the
fun.
last night at the Colonial, Joe saw you. Said he's back in.
Yeah, man. Thanks for coming out. That was really good
Yeah,
to see you.
you fucking
Had a blast.
inspired
Thanks for
him,
stopping
man.
by.
You heard him talking. He's fully inspired again.
I gotta
You-
say,
you
he had some
you
nice
realize
things
your
to
music
say.
did that to people?
No, I didn't. It was heartwarming.
Right?
And
Thank you
I
for
know you're not
reminding
just
me
saying
what
it
it
'cause
feels
we're
like
good.
to love.
My pleasure, our pleasure. I mean, it's what we want to do, and that just is
Yeah.
what it is. We love to do it. I kind of a go with the flow kind of guy, so it's like, well, if it didn't work out, we would have been okay. We would have tried again later.
Hmm.
I'm just happy that we're doing it now.
Anything? I know you guys haven't had too many dates yet. Anything wild happen? Has anybody taken a shit on the side of the road or into a water bottle or anything like that?
Oh yeah, there's a lot of crazy shit that has happened, and I don't think I can really share a lot of it on the air. But
Fair enough.
um,
Yeah. It's not that kind of show. We're not
yeah,
a
it
we're
is the
not a
morning after.
Sometimes it
So,
can. It has undertones.
yeah,
Yeah, I think I
yeah.
said my mom's pussy earlier. That was really weird. It's not something.
Well, that's twice now.
There was this is light, but it was just funny as hell to me. We were joking about it after. Brian's like, "Hope everyone shaved their assholes," because they were like, "Oh my."
Brian, I've noticed, is a
He's
wild card to
Yeah,
put it.
man, I love that guy.
I can't think of a better word than just a wild card. He's such a perfect fit for you guys. When you
We
guys
wouldn't be
were,
Three Towers without him. I'll tell you
I,
that.
I agree 100%. So I heard this from Dan, but I'd like to hear it from your perspective. Coming out of the
Yeah.
ashes of Agata, you guys created Three Towers, and you guys had a member change. You guys changed bass players, and then Brian came in. How did that all come about? How did that name change
great
come
story.
about? How did you bring Brian into the band, and how has it been for the last 3 years now? 4 years?
End of 2017 is when we were auditioning bass players.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah,
It
tell me
was
about that transition.
so after the close of Agata, working with Yeti for a lot of years, and then he ended up moving on to do some bigger, better things. And we had a spank bank full of songs that were ready to go, and that was the easy part. The hard part was getting someone to play them with us. And our buddy Cole, who's been in the punk scene forever. He's actually the one who printed our T-shirts for the tour. He does Cole print shirts. I can give you his contact info, but he came in for a little jam session. At the end of, he's like, "I got to be honest with you guys, it's way too metal. I just want to play punk songs." And we're like, "That's cool. Thanks for giving it a shot." But he's like, "But I know somebody who's into this." And how they told us when they connected, Cole and Brian. Cole's riding his bicycle, and damn near he sees Brian walking down the street coming out of work. Brian's a cook, coming out of work, and he just damn near throws his bike and like stumbles out off on the sidewalk. Brian, I gotta tell you something. These guys looking for a bass player. It was history after that, man. It was not hard to say you're in. The funny part was picking a band name. That took forever, and we had a list of 20 names, and they all sucked. And then all of a sudden, I think Brian's drawing something on our whiteboard, and it's like three like ghoulish kings, like in these giant like king's chairs, or whatever. And we were like, "Oh, that's cool." They're like three towers, and then we all looked at each other like, Boom. 3 cars.
That's it.
Yes.
So everything we've
Wow.
done has been surprisingly pretty organic and just goes with the flow. And
Yeah.
couldn't ask for a better opportunity to play music with, a great group of guys.
Yeah, you know what piggybacking off what Joe said earlier, you and Dan have been playing music for so long.
Yeah, 16 years now, maybe.
16 years. There you go. I mean, you guys
How
are,
many bands?
yeah.
Well, Dan's in like 30 bands, so but with me,
But shared.
Fragile
You and
X,
Dan.
that was like our fast punk hardcore band in high school. Tanagata. I'm missing a band, Three Towers. It was just 3
Okay.
bands.
Maybe there's far less than we
Well, Dan's
pictured,
in,
Joe.
ZH. He's in.
Well, he's
or
a
was-
drummer,
Yeah.
so
Aspasia.
yeah.
Well, we both started with other bands before that. He was in
Yeah.
Heroic Villains, and I was in the Restless Youth and ska punk.
Yeah.
band.
Well, I mean, you guys have such a chemistry and such a rapport together, not just personally, but musically, sonically, or whatever. I imagine you guys were so relieved when someone like Brian came along. It's like, wow, this guy just fits right in, because he just seems like he's
it
been
was-
playing with you guys forever.
meant to be. Yeah, it was like we've known him for 20 years, but it's really 3.
He's so wild, dude. I love that dude, and I,
I
love
love that
how
guy,
like
yeah.
all 3 of you guys will like address the crowd like on stage. You know, like sometimes it's Dan, sometimes it's you, sometimes it's Brian. So my band Stray Rebel Bullet, our first show was with you guys, and Phantom
Yeah, that was a
Hound.
killer one. That was a
Yeah,
killer one.
and I remember we opened the show and all of our gear was black and gold. Like I don't
That
have
also
black.
was the elbow room, right?
It was the elbow room, right?
And
And all of my band's gear was black and gold, like intentionally for that show. And nobody said anything except Brian on stage. He's like, "Yo, give it up for Stray Rebel Bullet. All those fools had black and gold gear. I see you. I fucking see
Yeah, I
you."
remember that. That's exactly
I
what he
was
said,
like,
dude.
"This dude fucking rules." I had never met him before that. He was such a nice guy. And then after I stole his set list and I took it, and I still have it with me. I have Brian's set list with me from that night. But
gonna
I
need
just
that
love
guy.
that guy. He's like a fuck. How about I photocopy it and send it to you? Might be worth something. I'm not giving it up, man. But anyway, just you guys have such a great vibe on stage together, all 3 of you, and oh my god, you sound like there's like 4 guitar players and like 2 bass players and fucking oh my god. Please go
thanks,
see
man.
3 Towers, everybody.
Try to
let's
do
bring
the stereo, speakers.
yeah. You put the cabs on different sizes. Is that what you're doing?
Oh yeah, X Factor.
Yeah, the X Factor. I'm just going to throw that back up for everybody. Everybody should, if you're in any of these areas, Medford, Eugene, Chalice. Where's Chalice? Never heard
It's
of
actually a
that one.
typo. It's Chehalis. It's in Southern Washington, actually.
Oh, Chehalis.
Sorry,
Ch-
locals.
Yeah, Chehalis, Washington. Portland. Wow. The Fixin'. Never been there. The Fixin' in Portland, Oregon.
Dude.
And then back down in Oakland. Guys, check it out. They're coming back down to Oakland. I know a lot of Bay Area people watch this.
Yeah, man. This is gonna be a killer set. Elder Blues from where they're from, Boise, Idaho. So they'll be playing that October 5th show.
Oh, that's
So,
a great poster. I love
Yeah,
that.
downtown. This is done by Clint. Hazard's Cure, and he's actually now drumming for Death Grave and a couple other acts.
Oh, Deathgrave, the band of Greg Wilkinson.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
just,
Boca de
mentioned.
Fuma is the name of his art tag, but
Okay,
Clint does the
okay.
awesome art.
Look-
So check it
Look
out.
at that. Folks, if you're in and around the West Coast, got to check out 3 Towers on tour. Can't recommend it enough. So yeah, you got a little break. Now it seems you're at home. Don't have a show till
Yeah,
Wednesday.
I'm chilling
That's
with my
nice.
pups, so it's good to have my hounds.
What up,
What-
dogs?
Oh,
What's
that's
up,
the
dog?
man. That's Ludo.
Yeah, little Lou, he's getting old though. Old Lou, he's all mopey.
Oh, he's mellow. Look at my man.
Yeah, mellow Lou.
Yeah. So when are you heading out to Medford? You've got to show up there on Wednesday.
So
It's Monday.
It's a 6-hour drive from the bay, so we dropped all the gear off
That's it?
at yeah. I mean, we're hauling ass doing 99 miles an hour, brother.
Oh, don't tell me that. I want you guys to be safe out there. Don't tell me that. All right.
But we're gonna pick up the band van from Vandigo, but we got a 15-seater black van, so look for us out
Oh,
there.
shit. That's two. Oh my God, you guys are stoked because both of you guys are 3 pieces, right?
I know, so we're gonna take up the
can-
back benches and
9
the
extra
first leg of
seats.
this tour. We had to take 3 cars because we just had too much gear and merch and
Yeah.
legs to fit.
Yeah. Yeah, didn't have the van.
No, we sold the Gotta van too, so that kind of changed things.
Yeah, that's a shame.
It was
That
on
thing
its last leg though. It broke
got-
down in Hollywood.
Yeah, probably got broken into too many times.
Hundreds of times,
I'm
yeah.
sure. Yeah. We got a comment. Oh, Jay's here. What's up, Jay? Omar is the man. Three Towers rules.
Dude.
Yeah, Jay loves you guys. I actually just saw a picture of our band. Jay's the singer of my band. I just saw a picture of our band, and he's wearing your guys' shirt. I was like, hey.
Hell yeah, man.
Yeah. Jay's the type of guy that'll buy a shirt and then immediately cut the sleeves off. I noticed it was a Three Towers tank. I was like, I don't think they sell those. But
Well, he's a hardworking dude. You know, when you're sweating, you got to get some airflow.
That's right. You know. I would do that, but I just have a weird amount of body hair under there, so it's just nobody wants to see that.
I want to see it.
You do?
Yeah.
All you have to do is ask, man. We've been doing this
Yeah,
show
I've got
for almost.
some body hair here. I've been trying to work out there.
It's that, but it's under my arms.
And everywhere else, yeah.
What's the what are you guys? Where are you guys planning on staying on some of these Oregon gigs? You got places lined up?
The funny thing is, man,
Motel
this
6 in it?
PNW tour, it's totally polar opposite of our last SoCal run. So we're actually staying at we all forked out some cash. It's pretty cheap between six guys. We're doing the Airbnb tour now, so we're going to
nice.
Good idea.
stay kind of a center point between a lot of these places when we go up north. But I think it's just 3 different Airbnbs for the rest of the 7 days.
Wow, is Airbnb changing the way bands tour? I never thought about this because when
It's my first time. I'm used to finding a buddy to say, "Hey, can we crash on your floor?"
Exactly.
squatting,
Sometimes
sleeping in
instead
the
of
van.
payment, we would take a place to sleep.
Oh yeah.
When we did that tour in 2013, we're out in Texas. So like, we just need a place to fucking live for tonight. So sometimes instead of payment, we either got food or a place to stay. Sometimes all three. Very rare. But yeah, I was wondering, well, where are you guys staying out there? But Airbnb, that is revolutionizing the way bands tour.
I gotta say, it's a little bit of a luxury tour this time. It's different for me, but I gotta say, I am enjoying it.
Yeah, I'll take it.
Waking up in the forest was great. You know, I was like, oh,
yeah.
fresh.
Well, you're a dad now. Okay, things are different.
hey, gotta live good.
Yeah, pinky up, son. Yeah, man. There we go. Well, that's good, man. I'm glad you guys are staying safe out there. And
Showering is gonna be nice. You know,
yeah,
we're all getting
showering.
pretty stinky.
Yeah. So is it a competition sometimes? Who can? Well, it's not too long of a tour, but I remember
No, it's a short run.
it's a short run. So even if you guys go the whole
Almost
run
2
without
weeks.
showering, you'll live.
We could still make it. Yeah, might get a little crusty. My black pants will turn like kind of brownish purple.
What's the longest? What's the longest you've gone without showering?
You know, that's a good question. I'd say probably a week.
A week? Okay, that's fair. Joe?
I never.
You
I
haven't
never
showered
got
all
to-
year.
No, like it's been about at least like 18 months.
Wow. So you're just taking COVID off, with
Yeah.
showers. It's like the pandemic. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Well,
Okay.
what you do, you get this body oil that kind of, repels any germs. You know, it's like this body shield. Right?
Oh, it's almost like a dry shampoo. You
Yeah.
can clean yourself without cleaning
powder.
yourself. Yeah, powder me up, baby. Anyway, yeah. Sorry for the obvious tour questions. How are you showering? How are you
Dude,
staying?
lay them on me.
Yeah,
I'm
but
happy
I'm
to
curious
share.
about these things. The people need to know. So yeah.
Oh,
man.
we told everyone pack 3 days worth of clothes, and these Airbnbs, you'll wash your clothes
3
every
days.
week. You wash it once.
Yeah.
Honestly,
Yeah,
I didn't
yeah.
change really once. I'm just 3 days so far. So
That's how real musicians do it. They go out there, they don't complain, they don't shower, they jerk off in the shower when without
If you
actually
get a
turning
shower.
but they don't turn the water on. That's the joke. Okay, not the joke. That's the reality of it.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
you gotta wear your show
Yeah.
pants. You can't wash those show pants. You'll wash away the luck.
Right.
It's like baseball. Okay, yeah. When you're on a win streak, you don't wash that uniform. That's smart.
Yeah. Play ball.
Yeah. Play with balls. Yeah. I think last time I went on tour, everybody was in a secret race to see how long they could go without jerking off. But it was a month. It was a month long tour, and
So it You had to restart it every day, right?
That we had to the counter got reset almost daily. No, of course nobody would admit to that. Except Dan. I think Dan's the only one that admitted to doing it. I don't know if he's watching this or if he wants me to say any of that. But I think
Pretty
Dan
open
admitted.
guy.
Yeah, Dan admitted
We're live,
to doing
pal.
it in the shower, and then Spencer, the guy from Fatality who we were touring with, I think was in the shower after him, and then found out about this after the shower, and he was like, "Great!" So the whole time I was just kicking Dan's cum down the drain. Wonderful.
So, I was wondering why the plug was or the drain was plugged up.
He was probably just mad because he didn't know if it was his or Dan's.
Yeah, exactly. It's the fog of war down there. It all got lost in the fog of war. Anyway, that's just tour life, you know. And it's the secret, non-glamorous.
A lot of fun. It's
yeah.
essentially, boys' club when you're out there. I mean, it's a vacation for us.
Mhm.
We're working, but pleasure for work, right?
It's the best work you could have. It's going
It is.
playing a different venue every night.
It's funny, if we did this 365 days a year, it would be a lot different than I think how we've been going. Maybe not as hard, so it can be a little more sustainable and
Yeah.
not have so many bags under your eyes. I mean, these past 3 nights we've kind of been up till 4 a.m. just talking because we're like
Wow.
so giddy to be out, and,
Yeah.
and sharing photos from the night, videos from the night, selling each other's merch, swapping stories from the night.
Yeah. That's great fun.
Great.
How's the merch sales been?
Pretty good. Surprised. I mean, I gotta say, people are stoked to see live music again, and so
Yeah.
making connections with new fans, old fans, bands that we've played with before, swapping merch and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's funny. I think I'm selling more of other bands' merch than my own. I'm like sitting back there, like you guys gotta get.
It's easier sometimes, right? Like I don't know, maybe when you're selling your own merch, you feel a little self-conscious, like it's $10. But when you're watching,
Just don't even pay for it.
yeah, it's true. But when it's another band, you kind of want to like go to bat for them. You're like, oh man, dude, not only do they rock, they're the fucking coolest guys ever. It's only $10.
Yeah.
Get their shit. Come on.
Totally.
Yeah.
Did you do like a bundle package?
Ooh, the
Get this
bundle.
with it.
Yeah. You got to run the bundle, but well, no.
Because then you don't need to break a 20. Because that's where I never have like $5 in my pocket. I'm like,
Yes.
just get one more thing, and then I don't have to give you change.
Exactly. Is your guys' merch nicely organized?
Yeah,
so when
actually-
someone says I need an extra large, you know exactly where to grab.
So that was the one thing Brian did. Really thankful for that. Rolled everything up, labeled it with the on the sticker like extra large, small,
Yeah.
things like that. So
Yeah, smart.
luckily we've learned from the past, and digging in a box in pitch black darkness,
Mhm.
Dark,
now we've
yeah.
got a little merch flashlight, and it's a lot
Yeah.
easier now.
Yeah. It's good to have it nice and organized. I can actually recall a time where we didn't have it organized, and then this nice girl and her boyfriend were going to buy a shirt for me, and then I became visibly frustrated because I couldn't find the right size for them, and I could see them feeling uncomfortable because I was so frustrated, and they were
You're
like,
like,
oh well,
no thanks.
dude, they had that vibe all of a sudden. They were like backing out almost, like, oh well, no, it's all good if you can't find it, you know what I mean? And then after I realized what had happened, I was like, wow, I am a huge asshole. I just scared those two people away because I
What I
wasn't
hate the
organized.
Yeah, that does suck. What I hate the most is just being out of a size, and you're like, you really want to please that person and get them on board, and then hopefully they wear the shirt, and someone asks them, oh, who's that? And then you're like, oh, we don't have an extra small, or we don't have a triple XL or something.
Right?
We do, Big Joe. We do. We got
What?
one.
Not of the
And the
new
old-
shirt though.
None of the new shirts. Sorry. And that was another kind of not a mistake, but hindsight. We would have done something different. We made ladies only cut of this one image, and turns out a lot of dudes want it. And we're like, shit, we should have just made it unisex.
Oh,
Yeah.
dang.
There's only limited run, so I think what we're going to do is actually give people an option to say pre-order. Put your name, and you can pay up front, and then we'll mail it to you when it comes in, and when we get back in town. Well,
That's wise. That's
the
wise.
way of the future, pre-order.
Yeah, that's wise. And I'm gonna suggest to all the guys out there, lose your fear. Wear the ladies' cut shirt. Just wear it. It's okay.
I
You
wish
can
you
cut,
could.
Cut the arms off, right? Forget about it.
cut the arms off. Just lose your fear. Lose whatever is stopping you from wearing that shirt. Okay, just wear it. It might be a little tight. That's okay.
Hey, nothing like a muscle shirt, right?
Exactly. It's a muscle shirt, and as you said, cut the arms off. You're gonna look fucking huge in that thing. Anyway, so Omar, it's been a successful tour so far, it seems.
Yeah, it's been great.
All the way through October 5th with Phantom Hound. Anything else you guys got going on? What's going on in the world of Three Towers besides this very fun captivity tour?
So I mentioned earlier we have that new album that we recorded at the Great American. So we should have. I'm hoping to actually put this one finally on wax because we have 3 EPs out there on cassette tape or digital. We have this new album of I think 8 songs that I want to put on wax and digital. And additionally, the guys from Alpaca, kind of moved to different countries again, and the singer Javi's in Spain, and he's in a new band called Wolf Crown. And so we got 2 songs recorded separately for that. So we're trying to do a split with Wolf Crown out of Spain and put that on the 7-inch. So there's going to be a lot of stuff in 2022.
Yeah. Do you think that your friends from across the pond, so to speak, could possibly help with like distribution for you guys? Because I know
That's
it's
the
hard.
goal. We're
it's hard to
find
get
a
that.
label. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're gonna do the Spain label. We're supposed to find someone to help distribute it and put it out in the States. So we're still shopping around.
Well, bands can sort of self distribute, in the States, but when it comes to like international stuff, it just doesn't make sense because the shipping charges are insane. You know what I mean? So like,
Sure.
It would be nice to get an international distro. So I don't know. Maybe those dudes can hook you up. I want to see you guys. You guys could be big in Europe. I can feel it.
Oh, thanks,
Definitely.
man. It reminds me of that movie Singles. I don't know if you've seen it. That kind of like grunge movie.
Matt
It's
Dillon.
like 90s dating. Yeah. And
Yeah.
he's in this band. I forgot
Eddie
their name.
Vedder's in
It's
that
like a
movie.
shitty name, but he's like, oh yeah, we're big in Germany, and everyone's like, no one fucking knows these guys.
Wow, what a reference! Singles with
Hey,
with
that movie's great.
It's a great movie. It's got a very young Pearl Jam in it. If anyone,
I love seeing live sets and
yeah.
movies like that of bands. I
Yeah.
like.
Well, Omar, that's awesome. Got a new album in the works. They're on tour, folks. I'll bring it up one more time for everybody. It's the Captivity Tour, Phantom Hound, Three Towers, coming to a town near you. If you're in one of these towns or near them, please check it out. And if you're in California, they're coming back down to Oakland. What's up? Portland, I see you. Eugene, I love Eugene. Have you been up there before?
Only really passed through on my way to Seattle.
Enjoy it.
Stuff. But looking forward to the rest of this leg of the tour.
Yeah, you're there on the 30th. Oh, man. Enjoy Eugene. Everyone there was so nice when I went up there. I really liked it.
Anything I should check out there?
Not that I can remember. I was very, very drunk. I just remember nice people. That's all I can remember.
That's still a plus.
Well, that's all that matters to me. Are people nice? Okay, I like it.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to tripping around Portland. We're gonna have one extra day in between. If you look at the dates, there's actually like a gap on the date. You can kind of see like it doesn't go numerical order.
Yeah,
we'll have a spare day in Portland to troop around and get some
you're
steak
stoked.
at a strip club or something, or
You
go to
can
a
do that.
barcade, pinball. It's crazy.
I heard about this steak and strip club thing. It was all anybody talked about when we went to Portland. It was like in the morning.
It was
should we go to the
revolutionary
strip
for a
club?
gata because it was $8. $8 for a huge steak.
You guys actually did it. See, we
Oh,
haven't
yeah,
talked
that's-
about it.
Well, I can tell you about that story. It's about another band, so.
Oh, okay.
But It
Okay.
was
Very
with Yeti, and we'll skip that story for another
Yeah.
time.
Next time.
Yeah.
Okay, Omar. Well, man, it's been fun. Thanks for coming on the show. Guys, check out Three Towers. You can listen to them basically anywhere, Spotify, all that stuff. Go to their Bandcamp. I don't have the link right now. Omar was a surprise guest. I just pulled him. I made him come on.
3towers.bandcamp.com.
3towers.bandcamp.com. Please support Three Towers. They're in the middle of a tour. So they can use all the merch money that you'd be willing to throw at them. They would love it. Omar, it's been a pleasure, man. Thank you so much for coming on the show. Joe, is there anything else that you wanted to talk to our man about?
I just can't wait for you guys to come back up here. I wish I was a little bit closer to the Bay because I definitely want to go back down and see you guys again. And I'm sorry I missed you in Nevada or Nevada City.
Yeah, we'll be back for more. Just the beginning, right?
Right? No, like I'd love to play up there again with you guys. Maybe some Violation Wound because I want to get them up here gigging around.
Let us know when VW's ready to do some shit. We'd be honored to open up for you guys.
Amen.
Dude,
Omar, you rule.
You're the headlining act. Come on, man.
We'll flip a coin.
Fucking killer.
Yeah. Likewise.
Okay. Guys, thank you so much. Omar, you've been a wonderful guest. Thank you for answering all my dumb tour questions, like who's jerking off and who's showering and all that stuff.
Well, the answer is everybody and nobody.
Okay. Officially, that was the answer, folks. Everybody and nobody. All right, Omar, we'll see you next time. You're welcome back anytime, okay, buddy?
All right. Talk to you guys around. See you.
Peace.
Thanks, man.
Man, what a guy.
What a nice guy.
What a nice guy, man. What a guy. What a nice guy. What a nice guy.
I love it.
It was a surprise guest indeed. I should have thought about this beforehand, but I didn't. Then I noticed that he's on tour. He's at his computer. Let me see if he's down to jump on the show. And look at that. We had a surprise guest, Omar Barreto. Everybody check out Three Towers. Fantastic band. Been a fan for a long time. I kind of see it as a continuation almost of their old band, Agata, and I've been a fan of them for over a decade or whatever. So
yeah,
please check them out.
if you're feeling Three Towers, definitely check out Agata because it's going to have the same feel. I mean, it's different, but definitely different live too. So if you want to go hunt down the Rudeness Chronicles archives, there'll be a lot of fun stuff on the internet to see.
Yes. The Rudeness archives. You're of course referring to youtube.com/Rudeness Legacy, I believe it is. The famous John Rudeness. He's filmed every show ever in the Bay Area. Please check out his channel. We got to have him on the show. We've talked about this like 10 times at least. We've talked about this. We got to have John Rudeness on the show. Writing that down. If he'd have us, would he be even willing to come on? Would love to have him. Don't know much about him besides the fact that he goes to every single show and films every show and takes pictures of every show. So what a guy. What a guy.
I think he really helped the scene early on, especially the little thrash scene that happened, when it did with all the local gigs and stuff like that. And I remember him telling me at a time, he was like, dude, I'm just a guy just recording it. And then people started hitting him up online, asking him to come to their shows and record their shows,
Wow.
He's being requested to do it, and he does it for free.
Thus began the legacy, the Rudeness legacy.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Don't expect super good quality on the videos, but expect to feel like you're there. Okay,
right.
He's in the shit. He's not filming from the balcony. He's in the pit.
People bump into him.
He does, or they do, rather. Anyway, love John Rudeness. So yeah. Oh, that was fun having Omar on the show. It's fun to have someone to talk to, other than you.
I can see why. I get it.
Yeah, just tired. Just tired of talking to you. Yeah. No, of course I'm not. We don't talk enough is the problem. We talk just for this 1 hour a week, and then throughout the week we're sort of Marco Poloing each other, which is kind of the same thing, but
that's talking.
That's talking. It's just taking turns talking.
Well, it forces us to listen.
That's true. I do have a problem with interrupting. I do kind of step on other people. I'm sorry about that.
Same here.
Yeah. You haven't noticed it from you.
I've caught myself doing it. I'm trying to live a phase of my life right now. It's I say it to myself often. It's shut the fuck up and listen.
I like that. Shut the fuck up and listen.
What's being really said right now, instead of like me waiting for my turn.
That is a big problem. And as a host of a show, both of us, we sort of have to sort of balance that, because yes, we do have to wait till someone's done talking to keep the show moving along. But if you do that too much, you're not going to listen to a word the person said, and you don't know what the hell they just said. It's like verbal ADHD. You just said a whole paragraph to me, but I didn't get any of it.
So this one time I was walking to the store to buy milk, and I saw a puppy. That's it. What were you saying?
Yeah, I don't know. That was good. You don't throw me off now. That's good. But yeah, I know I need to be a better listener. I think the whole. You've been in those conversations where what you just said. You can tell they're not. You can tell by their eyes, like the gloss in their eyes, that they're not even really looking into your eyes. They're just waiting for the signal that you're done talking, so they can then possibly one up your story or just tell whatever they wanted to say in the first place. And you can see it in their eyes, can't you? You can. No, see, it's too intent. There's too much listening in your eyes. But just that thing where they're like, yeah. This one time, yeah. And I'll admit it. I probably have a habit of doing that. I need to tone it down.
I definitely do too.
Not proud of it.
It is what it is.
It is what it is. I got a comment here. That's ADHD. This is now the second or possibly third week in a row I've been diagnosed with ADHD live on the air by Coach Lore. Yeah, we were talking about reading, I think, either last week or a couple weeks ago, and I think you have that problem too, don't you, Joe? Didn't we talk about this?
Yeah. To tell you, actually, I got up this morning and I opened a book and I started reading. And we were talking about how we're not paying attention to what we're reading. Our thoughts are wandering, and actually my thoughts wandered to that conversation. It's like, man, me and JP were talking about not even like paying attention to what we're reading. Like, fuck, I was reading the whole fucking time. And now I'm not even paying attention to this book, and I'm like, you know what, the font's too small anyways. There's no pictures. Get rid of it. Yeah, there's a lot. I just picked up this book. And it's a big, long title too, but it's about early America and the Indians and stuff, and it's really descriptive. It's really I don't want to say it's a hard read, but it's big. I stopped like for a second, going like just to look at that run-on sentence. I'm like, well, this guy, if he's obviously winning awards from it, it's not he must know what he's doing. But dude, this is a long run-on sentence.
Yeah, you're reading it like I know what a run-on sentence is. This is a run-on sentence. I don't care if this guy's an award-winning author or not. Like, this sentence is long. It's too long.
Right.
Yeah.
It's a good read though. It's a lot of fun.
I'll read and I'll read like I'm reading a book right now, and the author uses a lot of big words, and I know the definition of most of these words, but it still slows me down. For some reason. Like, I know what the words mean, and if the author will use like 3 or 4 of them in one sentence, then I start to get like anxious, and then my mind will go somewhere else. But like, I know the definition of these words, but for some reason when I'm trying to read them, it takes a second for them to like register in my mind.
I have to sometimes I like to stop and look up a word. That's what's great about reading books online. You just highlight that bad boy, look up. But then sometimes you get stuck into that Wikipedia, and the next thing you know, you were reading a book, and now you're learning how time travel works and how it is capable, and and then you're reading about exoplanets.
So it's a rabbit hole, is what you mean. You're.
Well, I should have been reading.
You should have been reading, but then you went into a wiki rabbit hole, which we've talked about on the show. We both get into these, don't we?
You know, and that's I do, and that's why I try not to read from my phone anymore, or my tablet,
Yeah, I
even
was gonna
though
say,
it's.
you use an e-reader?
I use my iPad,
Okay.
especially for like comic books too, because I'm a collector of comic books as well as music. You know, and ever since I started streaming music and paying that $10 a month, you could stream comic books the same way. And
That sounds
why
like
am
a
I
sin.
collecting?
Is that a
Well,
sin? That sounds like a comic book sin, like reading it from a an iPad. It seems
it
like,
might have been maybe 10
yeah,
years ago,
really.
but
I,
everything's
I
moving. Like I know
I
guys
don't
who
know
sold their whole
this.
record collection because they're trying to live more minimally, you know, and
Wow.
other people I
Yeah.
can't get rid of them. Like I have bags and bags of music that I brought up here with me, and there was a lot of things that I did have to get rid of. Moving from a place that I lived in for 15 years and then moving into a small, tiny little place,
Hmm.
I still have a ton of stuff in storage and things that are never going to be unpacked here.
Yeah.
Um, and I'm trying to live more minimally, so I try
Yeah.
not to buy albums. I try not to buy. I still find myself doing it, but my personal rule I made for myself is I'm only going to buy albums of my friends, like when I'm out live, like pick up like Three Towers, and I got those Three Tower tapes that Omar's talking about, you
Those
know,
are
and
those are must buy. You know, you're at your friend's show. It's like it's your friend's gear. You want to support them, and you want the gear too.
exactly, you know, and you
Yeah.
want to rock it and all that stuff, but you know, and
But
of
you're not
course
getting
I went
the
out. What's that?
you're not getting the vinyl of Iron Maiden's new record, though, are you?
No, but I did buy the CD. I was just about to say I went to Target the second day that it came out because I saw on Instagram. I actually was at Target the day it came out, and I didn't even know. I must have walked past it because I did walk through to see what was in the vinyl, but the vinyl wasn't at
Mhm.
Target, so but the next day
Yeah.
I was there.
Yeah, I remember this. It was like a Target exclusive or something, right?
Whatever, not so much. All it was, I think, the exclusive part was they had a holographic card on it
Yeah.
of the cover. That's not even
What's
that good
what's the album
holographically.
called? Ninjutsu or something?
Yeah, something like that,
Jujitsu?
right?
Yeah. Uh. Anyway. Physical media, folks, get it unless you don't have room for it. Yeah, you really have to make choices, man, when you're moving and you're packing up and you're going to a smaller place and you see all those things that really meant everything to you, and then
Right.
just like you said, I mean, it's in storage. You got to make some choices, huh?
And I didn't plan. I unexpectedly moved. And not only that, COVID drove that to a quicker process. So it wasn't like I sat through um, the process of selling something and buying something and going
Yeah.
like, "Hey, we're waiting, we're waiting." It was like, "Hey, we have this opportunity," and then the world shut down. We're like, "We go now." So I think it turned from like a 3 month program to a month and a half ordeal, and
Yeah.
it was nice moving in the pandemic though, because I was able to drive all my stuff an hour and 45 minutes up the hill, um, and there was no traffic, no
Whoosh.
cars. There was no cars. It was nice.
That was nice. That little two month window, maybe 3 months, where it was just no traffic. It was beautiful.
Hmm.
Um, and sometimes it takes a paradigm shift for these things to happen. Sometimes some bad stuff needs to happen so I can have no traffic. Okay?
Hey,
that is that is just how the world works, folks. Um, yeah, I missed this comment earlier, but I kind of want it's pretty deep. When we were talking about talking to people and listening, we got this one. It says, think about a person as a universe. Don't you want to get to know another universe? What do you think?
that's a great comment because I think um, naturally we're all concerned, and I just read this too out of another book that I bought, but I was reading. I'm reading like three books at once, and of course I'm ADHD too. So what
And you
did
got
I
all
even
sorts of
read?
crossed wires up in your brain right now, dude.
But what it was getting along, paraphrasing, it was talking about that like we're only concerned with ourselves. It's like a natural thing to only be concerned with ourselves, and it's been pretty life changing to try to be useful towards other people. So that whole comment about wanting to get to know another universe, no, I don't. I only care about my universe. But when I live a selfish life, that's been the pretty much you strip everything down. That's been my problem, my struggles, you know. So I try not to live a selfish life today. Am I doing a good job? Absolutely not. I'm sitting here talking about myself because I want you guys to know how cool I am and how well I'm doing and how much weight I've lost and how many likes are on my Instagram posts, you know. But when I do stop and listen to other people, man, I don't know. Everyone loves being listened to, and it makes me feel better that I don't know. I walked away from conversations and situations with a whole different outlook and feeling a lot better.
I have found you to be a very good listener and getting better and better. Not that you weren't a good listener before, but I noticed the intent you have on actually paying attention. And I really appreciate that as someone who talks a lot.
What, did I talk a lot or you talk a lot?
No. As me, as someone that talks a lot, I appreciate that I can look at you as I'm talking and I can tell that you're listening to me. You're a good listener.
I'm just a good faker, man. I'm a restaurant manager and a stage performer. I'm a good liar, JP.
Okay, are you telling me that you don't give a shit about anything I say?
Those were your words.
Okay. Point taken.
But yeah, you're right.
Point taken. So that was fun, man. That was fun having Omar on the show. I felt good to have a guest.
Omar's a great guy.
How about this for a little announcement? We have a guest next week as well.
Ooh, it's too real.
It's just been booked. I'll announce it now. He's been on the show before. The band Vindicator has a new record coming out. I believe it comes out October 1st. It might be... Is that Friday?
It's coming up, man. There's a lot of good stuff coming October.
I think that's Friday. So on October 1st, the band Vindicator has a new album coming out. We've had Vic Stone on the podcast before. Sorry, this is a broadcast. This is not a podcast. Get it right.
It's a live stream.
That's why I call it a broadcast, baby. So we've had Vic on the broadcast before. We're going to have him back next week. He's going to be talking about the new Vindicator album. I believe it's called Communal Decay. You reminded me of this when we were talking about buying physical media because I pre-ordered it. Pre-ordered the CD. Yeah, they had a little CD shirt package, and so yeah, I'm all over that. And plus, I like vinyls because I just like the way they look, but I don't have anything to play them on, so I do want to bump this CD. So, folks, next week we're gonna have Vic Stone from Vindicator. He was a very entertaining guest. The last time he was here for a good cause. So it'll be nice to hear him talk about his band's efforts for once, because he was such a gentleman last time. He was just here raising money. So that'll be fun. How does it feel having guests back in the morning after studio, Joe?
You know, it's pretty refreshing because I think it brings us to a different level of thinking, which I'm sure is fun for everybody else too. You know, but I mean, sitting here getting to do this with you weekly is pretty darn fun. So, you know, the more the better.
That means a lot to me that you said that. Sitting here with me every week is fun. I want to show you this piece of paper. I wrote this piece of paper at the end of 2019. My wife, Coach Lore, she's into writing things, you know, and like at the end of the let's make goals, you know, like write it down. Actually write it down. Don't think in your head like, you know, yeah, I'm going to do that this year. Actually write it down. And at the end of 2019, there's only two things on this list. Number one said start a project with Joe. Can you read that? Yearly goals 2020. Start a project with Joe. The other one says complete an album's worth of material, which I did not fulfill. I got some of that. But
that's
it
hard
really
work.
means a lot for you to tell me that you're happy to do this every week, because I wanted to do this with you. And it was your idea, folks. This podcast was Joe's idea. We got to get something going on. He says, we talk all the time. Let's do something. And this is it. And it means a lot to me to do this every week too, Joe. So that's very nice of you to say. I really, really appreciate that. And as you can tell, Dang,
you're putting it out into the universe and making things happen. I like it.
It worked. It was the secret, the Oprah secret. Yeah, put it out in the universe. It might happen. I think it was bound to happen, but I think we had talked about it for so long. I'm fucking sick of talking about it. Let's do it. So I wrote it down, like, start a project with Joe. I didn't even say start a podcast or start a broadcast. Yeah, did I say podcast earlier? I feel like after I corrected myself with the broadcast thing, I think I said podcast again. Anyway.
I still call it a podcast. When people ask, like, oh, what are you doing on Mondays? I'm like, oh, I got a podcast. Like, you got a podcast? Well, actually, technically, it's,
Say broadcast. Try broadcast. It's way cooler because everybody has a podcast, right?
That's true.
Everybody has a podcast, but who does a
very
broadcast every week? This is a live show. We fuck up and everything, too. That's how
Right.
you can tell it's a live broadcast. I think a couple weeks ago we started the show, and you weren't even there. All of a sudden you were gone. And I was like, oh, hi, guys. It's a live broadcast. That you wouldn't
Up
get
here
that
in
shit on
the
it.
hills, man. I just get booted. I think that was when the fires were going on and my home internet. Something's going on with it today too. My Oculus wasn't connecting to the internet, and man, it ruined my morning.
You poor guy. You're.
I'll try it again.
These are first world problems, but that's
Right.
just how it happens. I let my fucking
My lightsaber
Oculus.
isn't connecting. My lightsaber isn't connecting to my headset, and I can't be Beat Sabering it up.
Man, I got to get down on Beat Saber. I got to get down.
So much fun.
Shazbot's in the house. Love this dude. Damn, this episode is deep as fuck. Liking it. Yeah, I try to. Yeah, it's not comfortable for me talking too deep. It's not. But sometimes it just feels right. Sometimes it feels right.
That's where the conversation naturally went,
And that's when it feels right. Just wiggled it in there. Felt felt good.
It's not past midnight.
10
p.m.
if with deep stuff, if you wiggle it in there softly and be gentle about it, then it can be fine. It can be fine. Depth is needed. Get uncomfortable. This is getting, the innuendo is now just, it's through the roof.
I think she's trying to be deep too, but we're just still taking it as we're talking about sex.
And that's my problem. Yeah, this is, of course, the Wellness of Madness podcast. That's Coach Lore talking. That's my wife. Yeah, that's the problem. She'll say something super serious and deep, and I'm over here like, duh, you said deep. You know what else goes deep?
Doo.
Doo-doo. Oh, boy. Yeah, you know what else goes deep? Anyway. So, I love you, honey. You're a good one. Yep, boys will
Thanks,
be
JP.
boys.
Oh, yeah, you're talking to her. My bad.
I love you too, Joe. Boys will be boys.
Thanks, honey.
Boys will be boys.
But what if boys don't want to be boys?
What if boys just want to have fun?
Yeah, can't boys have fun too?
Why didn't we cover, girls just want to have fun. Why didn't we cover that song when we were in ZH? I think I suggested it more than once, and I think it just kind of gets swept under the rug. No one really took me seriously, but I was like, what band out of all the thrash bands could cover Girls Just Want to Have Fun, if not ZH?
GH, I could see totally doing it.
Exactly. I mean, you guys used to do all sorts of cover songs before I joined the band. I think you guys played the Office theme song one
We
time.
did.
Dude. You guys played the
That was
Office
like
theme.
one of the first things I learned when I joined on board. It was funny too. They were really on an Office kick, right? And I had a studio in Benicia that's where Fog of War came up. That's where a lot of my other I don't want to call them failed bands, but where I learned how to be in bands was out in this studio in the industrial park, and it was my parents' place of business. So you had to walk through an actual office, and somewhere out there we have photos. Like Dan was just obsessed with this, and he was like, we took pictures of him acting like he was doing computer work and on like an actual phone. And then he was like, dude, have you ever watched The Office? And at the time I actually haven't seen The Office.
It wasn't as popular as it is now.
Well, Netflix really,
Totally.
Streaming wasn't, not even streaming, but binge watching things, back then we had to wait weekly Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, for a new episode to come out, and then but everyone's into binge watching things, and now they have Office playing like 24/7 on cable.
Yeah. Yeah.
That first Fog of War video is still on the interwebs.
Check out. Oh, I love that video too. Oh my god.
That's a fun one. Thank you for
Yeah.
doing that, Shazbot.
Yeah, was Shazbot did he film that?
He filmed it and edited it in
Oh.
Pizza Pirate all night. I think they got in trouble because they stayed there and used the big screen TV on the wall as a monitor. And then the morning crew walked in doing like, what do you guys, because we were management. So we had the keys, and I didn't stay all night. Like, I'm sitting here saying that like I'm going to get in trouble, but I did leave. I think I had to work in the morning, and they got in trouble, for editing this.
That's so good.
I'm not conditioned to stay up 24 hours, so I can't. That's like, I got to go to bed.
Yeah, you had kids, right, at the time?
No, this was Fog of War.
pre-kids?
This was what's that?
Pre-kids.
Pre-kids.
Wow. I never knew
This
you
was
pre-kids.
like 19, probably 20 years old.
Wow. I think
I was a daddy at 22.
That's amazing. I didn't know you pre-kids. I think I might be a Big Joe poser. I'm only post Joe. I'm only a fan of Big Joe post kids.
Well, I mean, there's the MySpace wasn't a thing quite yet. We weren't connected.
No, we could have been though. We could have been. ZH was in my top 8.
I wasn't in ZH until after 2010. Probably 2010 was when.
No, that's when I
2009.
joined. I joined ZH, yeah, in 2010.
So
well, look,
I want to say 2000 and the end of 2009 was my last Fog show, and then I was in ZH for a couple months.
And so Dan was real hot on The Office, and then you guys learned the fucking Office theme. So
they already knew it, so they showed it to me, and yet I don't think we ever performed it. We practiced it.
Yes, you did. At Burnt Ramen.
Did we perform it?
Y'all, wait though, hold on. It might have been pre-Big Joe. It might have been like Yeti on bass or something like that. But I distinctly remember hearing it, not recognizing the song, and then having someone tell me that it was the theme of The Office, because I didn't watch. I didn't watch because I was like, what was that?
You're like, what was that?
Well, no, I didn't watch The Office, so I wasn't familiar with the theme song. But I was like, what was that 25-second song they just played? like they started it and then ended it in 25 seconds. I was like, what was that? So someone helped me out.
If we were playing Burnt Ramen, I wasn't home. Burnt Ramen was the place to be.
Yeah.
I needed beer cans, the empty beer cans, to throw at you while you're on stage.
Yeah, and I want people to know that getting a beer can thrown at you at Burnt Ramen, or just in the Bay Area, at any DIY venue in the Bay Area, getting a beer thrown at you was a good thing. It was actually like a good thing. And I thought everybody knew that. And I went to a show at the Metro. I went to a show at the Metro where my friend's band Enemy in Peril was playing. I'll give them a shout out. They're not a band anymore, but my friend Billy was in that band. And my friend James Billy and James those were my dudes. Anyway, they were in that band and they're playing, and I'm loving it. And I crushed up my beer can and threw it right at James. Well, the person that was standing in front of me that I sort of threw the beer past to get to the stage was James's girlfriend or wife or something. And she looked at me like, and it was so loud I couldn't hear what she was saying, but she looked at me and like yelled something at me like, "Fuck you, motherfucker, the fuck are you doing?" And I was like, "Oh, no. Like, I'm like,
I was thanking him.
Yeah, seriously. I didn't know how to like sign language. Like, I didn't mean any disrespect. I was like, like, fucking go. And then I talked to them about it. I didn't actually talk to her about it, but I told Billy later. I was like, "Hey, I threw a beer at you guys. There's no beef, right?" Like,
That's the first time I saw it, I was thrown off. Especially at Burnt Ramen. I was at a leftover crack show. And it was the most chaotic thing. Just everyone just went crazy. The place was packed. It was a small venue, and it felt like back in, remember in high school and middle school where they used to make us play dodgeball in PE.
Yeah.
And we had to wear the little the short shorts and the weird thick shirts that you could be flipping them inside out.
Mm-hmm.
And dodgeball, just once it popped off, just boom. But just imagine being in a smaller place and just like cans with beer still in them, so just like you just see all these fucking things flying off like it's fucking fireworks, that the bag of fireworks got fucking set on fire and they're just all going off. We're all covered in beer.
And this
Leftover
was
crack is killing it.
This was the first time you had seen that?
And I was like, what the fuck is that? Like, whoa. Like, okay, this is awesome. Give me a beer. Someone give me a beer.
You can tell it's like
I already
become
have
a
one,
party.
Joe. Like, oh, okay.
You can tell it's become a party situation, like food fight. Like
Pretty much, man. Straight up like in Hook.
Yeah. You know what leftover crack? I think the correct thing to throw at leftover crack is leftover crack.
I think they find the crack, like,
Yeah,
left
so
over.
they have enough. They have enough.
Like it's on the ground when everyone leaves. They're like, oh shit.
Yes. There's all the leftover crack. What should we name our
I don't
band?
even know if those guys are crackheads. I'm not quite sure. I know they're
I don't think they are. I think they're just regular party punk dudes. I don't know.
they're squatters and an art collective.
I guess I don't really know him. I met one guy. He was nice enough, but I don't remember the rest of it. But anyway, shout out to Leftover Crack. Shout out to Billy and James. Sorry I threw that beer at you. I think you guys knew that there was no disrespect. Sorry about that. So.
20 years later.
yeah, quite a way in the future here. I'm repenting for my sins. So it's been fun, guys. I just want to remind you that we do have a special guest again next week. It's going to be Vic Stone from the great band Vindicator, South Amherst, Ohio's own Vindicator. Guys, it's a thrash attack. They actually did release a single from their new record, and it's fucking banging.
Ooh.
So go check out Vindicator, folks. Vic's going to be on the show next week. And we have plenty of special guests lined up for the future. We are deep in the throes of Season 2 of The Morning After. We don't know how long this season is going to last. It might just be forever. Like, it only has to end when it ends. Okay? So thanks for being here with us is my point. Big Joe, what do you got going on today? Is there anything else you wanted to talk to our wonderful viewers about?
You know what? I gave you guys everything I had, and I just appreciate everyone who listens and everyone who hangs out with me and my buddy JP.
Thank you. This is, as Chazbot pointed out, this is a deep episode, and you really did lay it. You laid it on the line. Lay it on the line.
You know what? All I really did was just come here and tell you the truth.
Mm-hmm. And I appreciate you for it, and I'm better off for it. You're always someone that is very adamant about making their intentions clear. I remember recently some drama happened in the metal community, and I was like, I'm going to ask that dude to come on the show and talk about that drama. And then after I did, I was like, I felt kind of sleazy doing that. And you were like, well, you made your intentions clear. And I was like, I did. So thank you, Joe. I'm going to now use that as a pass to be an asshole to everyone I meet. From now on, I'll be like, hey, I made my intentions clear. All right?
That one time, so fuck you.
Anyway, honesty is the best policy. So thank you, Joe. It's been a great pleasure talking with you, as we do every Monday. Folks, we'll see you again next Monday, 11 a.m. live Pacific Standard Time. If you want to follow us on Instagram, follow us at The Morning After TV. That's, how do you say that? What's the right way to say that? Follow us at The Morning After TV. You can follow Big Joe at Big Joe 616. You can follow me at JP_SRB. Please send us an email. I love this stuff. Angry, send us an email at morningaftertv@gmail.com. I don't care what you send me. We'll look at it. We'll talk about it on the show. Great opportunity to send me a picture of a dick or something. I don't know. But we will look at it. I I promise. We both look at every single email that is sent to us. This episode of The Morning After with JP and Big Joe is sponsored by thewarriorroom.com. Get your home workouts, yoga, boot camp, all from your house remotely at thewarriorroom.com. This episode is also sponsored by Trilogy brand medicated beef jerky. Trilogy 123, Trilogy beef jerky. Very good. And that's going to do it for me and Joe today, folks. Had a great time. Once again, we'll see you next week, 11 a.m. live here on Twitch, YouTube, Facebook. Be sure to check out the repeats, all that good stuff, okay? For Big Joe, I'm JP. We will see you next week.